Okay, we should be live.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
What's up, guys? Jason Costantini here from the Table Monkeys with Alex and Ian Carnegie from Mac. We are here with FlameCast episode 8, recapping and reviewing the first tough game one of the preseason between Toronto and Montreal. And we're going to talk about just kind of how the game went, strategy, how it could have gone, what maybe teams could have done differently, and just about the event and the format and stuff overall. So, um, any let's see who's here in the chat. We got a couple guys watching. It looks like Richard and David
Gonna be
are in the
a little slow roll.
audience. Yeah, so obviously Montreal won.
Woo.
They executed the 100 point threshold, um, which is kind of, I think, for point games, like games that go by points, that seems kind of funny. But what's cool is it kind of bridges the gap again between like team sports that are point based and combat sports, because it's basically like a knockout or a TKO. And really, when you look back on the game, Montreal, just once they got momentum going and Toronto kind of got frazzled, like it wasn't just that they were stronger. It was definitely like the decisions that Toronto made in the third round that led to Montreal getting such like executing
Mhm.
point when they did. So
Yeah, it's
um,
interesting.
I have a match or an analogy or a comparison
yeah,
if you want to bring it to team sports. It's like the last Jays game. The Jays were like and Seattle were close, 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 and then the eighth inning, the fucking bad decisions on the pitching, and that led to a big lead, and then ultimately costing the Jays the game. I love Mike, but there was a few decisions that he
yeah,
made that had he not made it that way, it would have remained close. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And if they had have made it to the fourth round, they would have secured two shutouts with the lightweights, which would have given them some extra points. And if they could have figured out how to get a win on John or Joseph, they would have nullified one of those shutouts, and then it could have definitely gone a lot been a lot tighter. But I think one of the biggest things was. Not just decisions, but momentum. Like once Montreal, when Matthew beat Rick the first time, Montreal got so much energy and so much like hype and momentum. It was like that definitely followed through. And oh, watch! I knew this was going to happen. This is going to be Marlon for. I've been needing him to call me. Let me take this, and I'll be 2 seconds.
Um, Let me just, I guess it's still rolling, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll say this. It was very interesting to watch. First of all, just a quick shameless plug. One of the best events I've ever been at, like the most, um, because it was so different, because it was working finally. Do you get what
hmm
I'm saying?
hmm
Like it was working in the way Jason had intended it to work.
yeah. I think arm wrestling has gotten a little stagnant in the way that it's run. It's the same format over and over again. Just let's see how this guy faces up against this guy, and now that's happened. Let's try to match him up with a different opponent. It's just the same thing
It's
over
a
and over
happy
again.
medium, honestly, between tournament and super match. I think tournament, unfortunately, you can't make it a pay-per-view because the faces change too often, the classes and then the arms and people are like, what's going on? But in the team based, it's a selected amount of guys. You see them match up, so the matchups are fresh and new. Sometimes they're recycled, but that's just the way the game goes, like who you're choosing.
Hmm
But you're not just doing the typical super match format, which everybody is doing, including Mac. Um, I think what makes Mac different is we might not have changed the way we do business in terms of like it's you versus me over several rounds, but we changed everything else. So you get what I mean? Like the table, the rules and that kind of stuff. So that gives it an interesting element. What Tough did was they're like, right, look, Max got something going well here. and let's take all of the good shit that Mac has and then add this other shit. And now you have like this completely new format, which I got to tell you, I was fucking excited about. Like I was super happy. I mean, I remember like I was talking to you at the end of the show, and you weren't quite sure, and I was like, no, dude, like you hit a home run. You know, you hit a home run. I mean, the guy at Fight Network, he was there. He was talking about how cool and awesome it was. Matt Cause, TSN analyst, he was saying how awesome this was. And it really was. I know you being an owner and organizer, you're probably like hypercritical, and we all are.
Yeah.
But from and I guess I'm not totally on the outside, but I'm kind of like enough on the outside to give you honest to goodness feedback. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gaslighting you. That fucking event was amazing. And you know what I like about it is I honestly did feel the whole like, oh, I'm cheering for Toronto now. And I was kind of indifferent at the beginning because I am from Montreal. I spend most of my time in Toronto. But like I was like indifferent. It was like, but then when Toronto started getting like way behind, I was like, come on, like, let's go, Toronto. You get what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
really have that team, like, come on, like something happened. And obviously the injury was sad. And I think the that was the momentum changer because they felt like they didn't really have an answer for Rick. And typically Rick should have been had I don't know what level of preparation he was, but if the best version of Rick shows up, I think it's fair to say he should have been the most dominant arm wrestler there, right? And that's the way I think. I don't know how you see it, but I think even them they thought it that way, and that's when he was off the board, they were like, oh my goodness, like, and it just they were able to kind of take over the game at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so initially I thought 100 points was too low. Um, but I don't know. Maybe it's just right. I don't know. Like in terms of fitting it guaranteed within an allotted TSN time slot or ESPN or Fox, 100 point gets you there regardless, right? And
Yeah,
you
that's
could
true. I just feel like, well, and I think you're right that the 100 points makes sense, but I'm not sure if you're if you have a match, if it's ever actually going to reach the end with 100 points.
right. That's a good
You're ever
point
going to go all 4 rounds, all matches with 100 points as the cap.
because like there was a couple of guys that I wanted to see more. Like I felt like Alan said it too. He's like, dude, I still want to arm wrestle. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what the answer is, but this was the first one, right?
Yep.
And that's what happens, right? And I think we all have to allow Jason and yourself um to do a review and to talk amongst yourselves to find out if it should go to that 125, you know. Maybe
Definitely.
150 would be a little too much
I
because
think that
Rick,
would be too much. I don't think you would hit that very, very often. I think it's good to hit the 100 points because, like Jason was talking to me to me about this. It creates a sense of urgency for the teams when there's a 100 points, and you start using your gambles, you start pulling up a class to get that extra point. It makes teams be a bit more aggressive, which is more exciting for the
well
viewer.
then why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you make it a 3 period game and then a fourth if 100 points isn't reached by then?
And then the fourth period, it doesn't matter if you hit the 100 points at that point.
No, I mean you always have to hit the 100. Okay. But
Okay.
say, for example, so just to be clear, did we never did get into the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think we got right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So
Okay, okay, I see
make
you.
it a 3 quarter game. If by the end of 3 quarters it's not reached 100, then you do the fourth
Yeah,
until it's done.
yeah. That could work too.
Because more like NHL is 3 periods. There are some sports that do like either 2 halves, 4 quarters, 3 periods. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
just like if you feel like I can't see a full game ever happening if the score is 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you just make it the after like overtime? Okay, 100 points was not achieved in our allotted time, which is 3 periods. Do the fourth, or go to 125. Personally, I'd like to see it at 125, but I just like I'm a glutton for arm wrestling. I'm also the guy that keeps my own team tells me to bring it down to like 13 to 15 super matches, and I keep going to 20. So you know what I mean? Like, don't listen to me.
Well, I
I
think
want to see more arm
125 is
wrestling.
good because, 3 rounds, it doesn't seem like each guy is going to get enough arm wrestling done. And you kind of want to see
But it
how
didn't happen. So,
you're right. You're
you
right.
know,
But like you said, Alan's the one in the poll. It would have been cool to see some of the same matchups that we had seen face off again and see if anything changed because a super match is like five rounds or 6 rounds. You see a lot of changes, a lot of swings happening throughout all the rounds, and we didn't get to see that. It was kind of each match there was no real swings. Like what was it
well,
Pascal
I
and
don't know about that. Like, what do you mean? Like because of the loss, it was a big jump. Wasn't there one
no,
match? Wasn't
I'm
there
just
one
saying
match the
like
guy scored a lot of points on? I'm trying to think who it was. I thought there was one match that got like a bunch of points, like one
uh,
to gamble.
yeah, I think BLM gambled and went up a class. Uh,
Yeah, so
that's
that's
true,
just
but I
one.
mean like the matches that were in the same weight class, like Alexander versus Etienne. Alexander won every every round, and which was they only had 2 pulls, I think, or maybe they had
Yeah,
three.
but he didn't win convincingly, right? Wasn't it like fouls taken away from Alex as
There
well?
might have been a couple fouls. Yeah,
Which matters, right? And the overall, like winning clean, winning quickly is what everyone on the team should try to aim for, right? Because you want maximum points for your team. And sometimes you can lose the battle, but win the war. That's what I love about tough, man. Like, think about it. Like, you may be on a team where you know you're not going to win the match. But if you can find a way to make it so difficult that that guy starts making errors, starts getting points deducted, that's almost as good as gaining points for your team.
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you saw that with Tyler and BLM in their first match. Like,
R-
and BLM's
Perfect
a lot of that
example.
in general. He tends to take a lot of fouls because of his setup, but Tyler was just, playing along. Obviously, that changed in their next couple matches, but
Yeah,
but
BLM was dominant.
yeah, and he got MVP.
Is there 5 guys in the country that can beat BLM left-handed?
Uh, Devin, Matt Mask, maybe Oleg.
It's not the
Not in
same.
the same weight class. Not in the same weight class.
No, my question was overall.
Yeah,
I got those three. I'd like to see Matt run it back. Oh no, Matt beat Irakli, so he probably should get the automatic nod there.
probably. Yeah,
Um, I got him fourth. I think he beats Pork Chop now because Tyler Bozan beat Pork Chop
when
and
did he beat Pork Chop?
at Tough.
Oh yeah, you're right. Um, what about any of the super heavyweights in Quebec?
Pierre Cote looked really strong against
He
Nathan
did.
Leland.
He did. But
Um,
Elam's obviously super crafty and would probably never get it sucked into a hook.
that's I think Boucher and Pierre are probably stronger than him if the match was to go wrist to wrist. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. So maybe it's fourth.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think he's fourth with um the next couple of years, he could be knocking on that door for either of those first two. Or
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
uh, the second and third positions.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one position that's kind of not reachable.
Mhm.
But it was really cool to see all the established arm wrestlers in Ontario kind of embracing this new format that Jason's created. We got Mike Gould, Christian, yourself, all the top arm wrestlers that competed just want an opportunity to arm wrestle, and obviously they really love the format and getting to pull for their team. And I think Montreal showcased a bit more of that camaraderie and team spirit, which probably was one of the reasons why they did so well. Um,
There's a lot to that, I think. I think, I mean, politically, I think Quebec gets sort of overlooked. The language barrier means that I feel like their top athletes don't get as many um, professional looks.
opportunities.
Like,
Yeah.
and that might be my fault too. I think I've had Pierre Cote and I've had Christian Gilbert, and I've had a few. What's the other one there? The 240 guy, Marc Andre. Not Marc Andre. Trust and
Andre Saint
believe.
Germain.
Yeah, Andre Saint Germain. I've had him. So it's not like and I've asked, I've reached out. I just think they took a little bit of time to warm up to Mac because it was so different. But I think now there's two Mac tables headed out to Quebec, and I think Freddie's gonna buy another one. That'll be three out there. So it's gonna be, and now with Tough, it's not gonna be a hard sell because they need Mac tables in order to train for Tough, and they, now that they've won, they're gonna want to go undefeated, right? Like they're gonna want to, you know,
Yeah.
and they got the parts. I'll tell you who's gonna be real good. Calgary.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Jason were just talking about that. But even Vancouver's gonna be really good. They have a stacked
Yeah,
lineup as well.
they do, but like,
I'm sure you've heard that Alan Ford is moving out there.
will he be eligible?
I don't see why not. If he lives there.
Well, did a trade happen? Fuck, what? How does he?
No
How does he?
team
Like, what the hell are you talking
at
about?
the
How does
moment,
he?
like there's no team owners at the moment, so the trades are kind of free for all. But
Um,
Calgary's got um, Dustin Houghton, national champion in the 242s.
yeah, they got fucking Josh Bellin, Sean Crowther.
Yep. I'm not sure about their lightweight situation.
They got Curtis Mocan, who's really strong
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yep. He's a
Brian
242 guy.
Brian Parliament. They that Zach Monroe or Morrow. Um, they got, fuck. I'm drawing a blank, but man, they do, like, I remember going through it the other day, and it was like, ooh, they could put something together.
Yeah, well then Vancouver's got Alex Toprol. He's the lightweight guy. Uh,
Alex Toprol.
yeah, not he's a different Alex Toprol. He's a Ukrainian. He's got
Oh,
a ponytail. He's like long ginger ponytail.
oh, okay.
And then there's Oleg.
Oleg's BC. I thought he was Alberta.
I think he's BC.
Oh, does can some Alberta? No, I think, fuck. I thought he was Alberta. Actually, I thought that's the other thing. I think he's Alberta, and I think he'd be on Team Calgary. Can Vancouver take anything from Alberta if they're, or only if they're not selected?
I'm not sure. How do we run the draft last time? I think if you're not within a certain distance of
Yeah,
of both cities, then you're eligible for both.
yeah. It's interesting though that two guys that should have been, well, should have been is a relative term, but two Ontario guys that really racked up points for Montreal were, John Terrian and BLM. Like, those
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
you could have argued with better selections for team. I mean, I don't want to say better selections
Well,
because, like, Jake Charles is a killer normally. I think Jake was a victim of never having done anything on a Mac table. He just couldn't get adjusted. He couldn't get his setups. And that's what I tell people. It's enough of a different sport that you need to practice. You need to have someone go over the rules and understand that what you're entitled to, what you're not entitled to, because it can change your game. I know it does for me. Like if I was to take a high level super match for money or whatever rankings, I would probably do it on a WAF table personally. Why? Because I spent 20 years learning how to fuck the system.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And in knowing that, um, that's why I made Mac the way it is. It's very hard to fuck the system, but then I ended up fucking myself
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's more fair, right? But that's what I want.
It's
I
not just
want
more fair, it's the less fuckery that happens before the go is more entertaining to the viewer. It's easier to understand for the non-arm wrestler. And
That's
the
true.
match is going quicker, which is again all the
That's true. I'm just
reason why you
talking from
created a
a
match.
pure arm wrestling standpoint, not what the overall goal is. The overall goal is to listen. The overall goal is to entertain the masses, the
Hmm.
consumer. The
Yeah.
consumer, it's about them. Okay. So I was highly entertained and I understood the value of it, the game. Like, okay, so I think you made this point off like when was it last Saturday? It was last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you made this point to me last Saturday. Said something like, when the men got on the stage, it was 1:30 and we finished before 3 p.m. That is fucking golden. But it did leave me going, oh, I want a little bit more.
But maybe that's a good thing.
I was just gonna say, you took
Yeah.
the words out of my mouth. Maybe it's a good thing because
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, I'm anticipating, I want to see more of this. When is it? So that might be a good thing. It might be a good thing. I don't know. Have you guys like solidified uh are you gonna keep it at 100 or have you entertained the 125?
Me and Jason haven't talked about that yet. Um, Maybe we should see a few more games play out before changing that rule set, just see how it goes. Because we did made a lot of changes for this team event um, versus the previous ones. Because obviously we've tried this a couple of times, and
Yeah.
each one we changed.
I thought the first one I was part of it.
Yeah.
It was my top three favorite events that I ever competed at for a multitude of different reasons. Me, it was kind of very personal too, because I was injured. I went undefeated right-handed, got some big wins, and my father, while I was in the game, was being rushed to hospital. And
Oh,
I
I didn't know.
found out during the game on telephone.
Oh, wow.
So I had the stress of that.
Yeah.
So, obviously my dad's alive. So, but it was to the point when I got home, the doctors had said that the kids should get there. So I packed a day bag, hit the highway, drove 16 hours to the hospital because it was in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like gone, right?
Yeah.
But so in hindsight, like everything happened, like everything's fine.
Yeah.
And so, but a lot of drama. So the first tough event meant a lot to me, and it's probably the last best showing that you'll see from me. Like I have no plans right now to try to be a professional arm wrestler anymore. It's too painful for me.
Yeah.
And I was on the table with Boucher. I don't know if you saw the after polling video, and it's like I'm strong enough to be like in the match, kind of like hold, but I really couldn't threaten him offensively. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just I was like just showing him that I have some jam.
Yeah, well, you can't take anything from that. You weren't training or prepared for any kind of high level competition. Uh, but
Fair
anyway,
enough, but I do think these guys are just going to continue, like,
I hope
and it's
so.
and I got a lot of responsibilities for you know what we're doing, what I want to help and assist as best as I can, wherever I can with Tough because um, I see it, I see it becoming like very popular. Like
Yeah, awesome.
A lot of people argue with me with this. It's like I don't even know. Like, what is the point of arguing this point? It's like this is my opinion.
Hmm.
All right, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's this is my opinion. There's no real reason to argue whether or not you believe that Tough is going to make it. Okay, that's your opinion. You get what I mean? But in my opinion, since the very first game, I knew that this was the direction that professional arm wrestling needs to go for its overall health. You know, Jason and I say a lot of times, the high tides raise all ships. This is helping arm wrestling as a new product. You know what I mean? And Jason, earlier I was saying like what makes like it's something fresh, it's something new, right? And what was awesome is like that's kind of like what Mac did, right, with the tables and the rule set, but we still adopted an old format, and that is the one-on-one best 3 out of 5 or whatever it is, right? So Mac comes on, looks fairly new. Half the equation is really new and fresh, and then you're like, okay, I'll take that and I'll add this. So your entire thing is fresh and new
Yeah.
and exciting. And it is exciting. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, some people, I'm like, so I had a discussion with somebody. They're like, well, what, I mean, and other promoters who said they've done team. I'm afraid that if I continue that they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But you know what? Whatever. They said, oh yeah, we did the team concept, this and that. And that. I'm like, yeah, okay. Honestly, and I'll do fairness. You may have had teams, but it isn't the same.
No, that's
Yeah.
that was the thing in the chats when people were like right off the bat, and I had to like stop myself and make sure not to comment too much. But yeah, when they say like, oh, the like Pro Panja League or Game of Arms, like I'm like, yes, those did have a team
Arm Wars,
idea.
Arm Wars did something like that, but they're different. All they
They're
did
still
was
super matches. They're still
that's
just
it.
super matches. And I was like, that was my answer to them. I was like, there's no managers, there's no lineups, there's no substitutions, there's no timeouts, there's no points, there's no like everything about the format that we've done is tried to game it out. Like if you think about football is basically tag and catch, but just gamed out as gamed out as you could do. Soccer or basketball is just keep away. It's like I have the ball and I keep it away from you, and then you grab it from me, and now you keep it away from me. Like it's just keep away, but gamed out with a whole bunch of game and strategy and other things added to it. That's all I've really done to arm wrestling. I'm like, we hold hands and we go like this, but I've added all this silly game stuff to it that makes it now more interesting for someone who doesn't care about the arm wrestling part but cares about the game part and even like I was explaining it to who I told Alex, but I was talking to Len Houghton with his two sons Dustin and Dylan,
Yeah,
um, and uh, and I was just saying to them about how like somebody who doesn't understand it can start watching and being like, oh, he got 5 points and he got 7. And then, okay, why did that? Okay, I understand. Oh, the fouls. Okay, then he pinned him fast. Okay, that's cool. And then like the game starts to explain it or the sport starts to explain itself because of the format. And that was the idea. And watching that unfold in real time at the actual game with this completed format now was really like
yeah.
not
Listen,
only
I gotta tell you
satisfying but
something.
like okay that we do have something. And I think that's why media is actually attaching to it too. Like there Pembroke is going to write an article on BLM. There's like we're getting articles written. The Canada Press picked it up, all these things, because it's actually interesting. It's not just two guys having a fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it, and
Hmm.
that
Listen, I'm super proud of you guys. Like, fuck it. I mean, I remember the first time you proposed it. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, you were trying to explain it to me. Like, I'm talking before I competed in it, right?
yeah.
And I was like, dudes, like, I know people said that I'm trying to put a square peg in a round hole, but this is really fucking out there,
Yeah.
and then but it didn't matter because we made a deal and I needed you for my half of the deal, and we don't need to talk about that, but you know what I mean. And I said if you did that deal that I would make myself available, and I'm so fucking glad I did. And it was nice that you said that when I committed, then all the other top pros started
Oh
committing.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, that made
You
a huge
know,
difference in
and
that
then
first one. It made a huge difference.
And so that made me feel better. And then I say this all the time. I think I said it even here. It was in my top three favorite events that I ever been at, like the one I competed at.
Yeah.
And then this was one of the best events that I can think of, where I'm really excited, super engaging. I probably shouldn't have been manning the fucking merch bench because I was so focused on the matches. People probably were ripping us off. I don't know, but I mean, I was like standing up trying to get my camera. Like it was so exciting. Um, I think going forward in the future, like I'm talking when technology gets better, to really like iron out some of the points, like you were saying, for example, like the quick. I think when there should be something, and I don't know what that is, but when the ref says go, it triggers some sort of mechanical thing where it says it times from when the
Yeah.
go happens and when the pin happens. And if it's within the shortened time allotted for the considered a flash pin,
Yeah. That
it's
they
a
get.
warrior. And
Yeah.
if it's not,
Then it's not. Yeah.
then it's not.
Yeah.
Do you get what
Yeah,
I
where
mean?
it doesn't, it's not up to the ref, the head ref, to subjectively decide it anymore. It's yeah. As look, that's the thing is that all sports is if you can, as you start getting more money involved in it because it's more than just the one event. It's the continuous nature of it. That's when you can start doing all those things that can really.
So I want to bring up a potential rule change. We're just talking about it right now, and get your idea on. So you know how I was talking about the graduated pinning system, right? Where
Mhm.
we get rid of parallel pins because they're so subjective, and go to the. What if we kept it the way it was? But do you remember in Freedom how when they could one of the ways so you could pin the guy, or you could take him off the edge of the table and hold him for a 3 second count.
Yeah.
What if, and we're not saying we're going with this, but it's a good suggestion. What if it's if like sometimes referees call the parallel too quick, right? And then everyone's like, I don't fucking
Oh, so
know.
now that parallel is more on a time. So it's like you
Yeah,
into the
one one
pad
thousand,
where you
two
hold
one
him, you
thousand,
hold
three
him,
one
but it's
thousand.
considered parallel for a 2 count or a 3 count or yeah.
Yeah, so there's never a parallel pin can't
And
be a like.
parallel pin can't just be oh got you. It's got to be like
Yeah.
yeah
What do
yeah
you
yeah yeah.
guys think? And
That'd
that
be
That's
would
crazy.
take
crazy.
away because then if you argue with the ref, it'd be, buddy, I fucking did the 1,000,
Yeah
2,000,
yeah
3,000. It's a fucking pin.
yep
He was
yep
below.
yeah.
It
And
takes.
that would cause like if I'm about to get pinned and I'm like and I start to struggle. That's usually how you get that extra like how you dip below. You know what I mean? So it's like either you can make it where it's either it's buried or it's the count. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like
Yeah.
the boarding, like where you're on the edge, like and you hold it on the edge for long enough. Now it's a foul. Like
I
you,
think it's a good happy medium. I think it's a
yeah,
good happy medium.
Yeah,
that's a
if
cool.
it's buried, you would touch the table, right? So that should
That's
be
true.
it.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we could always still like modify the pin pad so that there maybe comes in a dip and that there's just for aesthetic wise.
There's
Uh,
still there's still
yeah, we
conflict
could we
there.
could do that. I find the pads the way they are, they kind of
Yeah,
look naked out there by themselves. And I feel like we have more parallel pins than we have physical touches, which I kind of would like. But I can handle if a referee is doing the count and let's say 1,000, 2,000,
yeah.
3,000.
And
Boom,
he
that's
doesn't
a
even
pin.
he doesn't even have to like it can just be like you can see it
Yes,
like
yes, like who
like this in your
like
face, you know?
referees in basketball when they're
Yeah,
counting the three
yeah,
second,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, that one. We'd have to do something different because sometimes this indicates winner, right? So we'd have to do maybe have them do
You know
this.
what? Yeah, I
You know what
kind
I
of want.
mean? Above their head,
Yeah.
and do the whole 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, winner. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to confuse the hand signs.
Yeah, yeah. But
Mhm.
either way, that's
You
that
know,
is
this was Matthias's idea.
that's an interesting idea.
A good idea.
It is a good idea.
Anything you create, it's going to just create more excitement and drama in
That's
that
so
moment.
true.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see the guy. Oh, off topic. Kirsten should have had 2 wins on Samusha. He only got the one. He was only one, but he got fucking robbed. Kirsten, the Mac 180,
Yeah, I know.
200
Where oh,
champion.
he was at GVW.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
fucking did really good in all the matches.
yeah.
And that's the best 85 kg guy in the world at the moment, maybe ever. 10-time DVW champion, you know what I mean? Like defended it 10 times. But anyway, so it's something we should seriously sit down, all of us, and discuss if that's if something we could.
That's an interesting. That's a cool way to handle the parallel pins. I like that. I do like that a lot.
Mhm.
What else, Alex? That should we bring him in on that we discussed?
Well, there was the raising the points up to 125.
I
Yeah.
I
That's
said
Okay. So
yeah.
I said here's my thought process. Okay, if you let me. Um, Alex said it looks like it will rarely get into the fourth, and if in the fourth,
No, and
it
like end with all the matches. Like
yeah,
yeah.
and all the matches, it's likely not going to happen.
if you go, so the thing.
Can I just finish?
Yeah.
I know you've got your side of it, but let me just finish what my thought is. So my thought is if you could either reduce it to do three quarters and only going into the fourth quarter if 100 points hasn't been achieved, or if you want all the matches, then raise it to 125, and that should fit into into the fourth quarter, maybe extending into overtime if it hasn't been achieved at 125. Because you at least you have the overtime option if 100 points. But didn't you say that it's mathematically impossible not to reach 100 at the end of fourth quarters?
No, I said it's mathematically. It's not mathematically impossible, but it's so here's how the math works. If each team, so there's 32 matches in the game. If
Yeah,
each team wins 16 matches, right?
yeah.
5 points a match, that's 80 points each. Okay. So
Mhm.
the extra 20 points that either team would have to win is either just by making gambles or flash pins or pull-ups or whatever, if it's 16-16.
Yeah,
Where it starts to skew is once a team starts to get a few extra wins. That's where it starts to like get lopsided and start to swing. For both teams to have 100 points, they would both have to score 6.5 points a match and go 16-16, which sounds like, oh, that's not that. But when you start looking how the matches were going, 4 points, 7 points, 3 points, 8 points, like they're going all over the place. The 100 points, what it does is it forces teams to be aggressive, not only to go for points, but to avoid the mistake that Toronto made wasn't not going for enough points. It was not being defensive enough about the points they were giving up. You have to understand you are going to give up
yes,
points every game. You're going to give up points. What it's going to start to force teams to do is think about how do I cause the least number of points to be given up in a
yes,
that I know I'm going to lose. Like we know we're going to lose this match.
yes,
Nobody we have that can win it. But what we can do is he hates this move. So do this move to him, force him to foul once, force him to
yes.
foul twice. Then he fucking wins because he's pissed off and whatever. But now he gets 3 points instead of five. And it's going to be those little things that's going to play out, which is why the 100 points is good because it creates the fight aspect of like, I want to beat you. And like, no, I'm going to dodge you and I'm going to beat you back. It creates this like bob and weave effect into the point system because
Let's run it one more
you're both
time.
racing for 100 points. It's like it
Yeah.
creates a race, it creates a rush for a victory as opposed to in football like taking a knee and trying to bleed out the clock. You'll
They
never
do
have
that. They do that in the
like the opposite
Canadian
effect. Sorry.
NBA, the Canadian Basketball Elite. That's with CEBL. They do that. They have a max point reach. So it's either the fourth quarter done or you reach this max point. So it has been done. I would say
It would also create then your final match. If you got to that fourth, it would be like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Like you wouldn't be there unless the game was tight. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I'm gonna say this. I think you should keep it as is for the Calgary thing. And then assess.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you should totally throw the 125 out, only because there was a lot of arm wrestling that I felt like needed to happen that didn't get to happen.
Yeah.
That's just listen, I also admit that I'm also the guy that runs 20 super matches when my entire team tells me to run 12 to 15 and I ignore them. So I am that guy that just likes arm wrestling more. So you can totally just punt this statement out.
No, but
But
it's a good point to make because the 100 point threshold, the only way it's going to prove itself is by being put under scrutiny and by being put under pressure. So
yeah,
the fact that it happened in the first game, I think once when it first initially happened, I was like, oh man, we're gonna hit the 100 point. Like I was a little bit like shit. But as soon as I watched the game back and saw what happened strategy wise, and I was like, yeah, wait, what the fuck? Why did they play Jake 3 times in a row and then just give up 30 points almost right there? Like it was such a like, oh, what are we doing?
and the
And
point you made earlier about the listen, because I when you were on your phone call, Alex and I were talking about it, and I said that, right? I said, listen, sometimes you're not going to win this match, but you cannot allow that guy to get full points,
yeah,
right?
and that's what ended
And
up
even
happening.
if you
The
don't get
matches that
full
they
points,
sorry.
even if your team physically in that round does not get a point added by the reduction of points, it is like gaining points.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
You,
think we're going to see some better strategic plays by the managers in the next games.
oh yeah, because they have something to
You have
look
all
at
this
now.
information to look at.
Yeah.
So you'll probably see this 100 point thing play out a little differently.
Yeah, that's it too. And look, in fairness to Mike, when have we ever seen Jake Charles never win a match?
Yeah.
The odds were that that wasn't going to happen. Like you could run that back 1,000 times, that may not ever happen. You
No,
know?
look, that was another thing. And what's so cool about team sports, like the two reserves on each team, Matthew Boucher and Joseph Spoljar, both had amazing games for Montreal. Okay, they were both reserve guys that weren't originally supposed to be there. The two reserve guys for Toronto, they didn't have Jamie Staken, who would have made a huge difference, and they didn't have Adam Wallace, who would have also made a difference, right? And the two guys that they had replaced, Blake Bion and Nathan, both great pullers, but both ended up with who they were matched up against being outmatched, right? So the reserve players right off the bat, not like didn't add up good. But then, sorry, I've just got sidetracked. What was it that who were you just mentioning? That made me think of
Like
this.
Charles,
Yeah, Jake Charles is he made a point. He was like, look, I literally had the worst day that I think I've ever had, and so Rick not winning a match that he should have won, Boucher winning matches that he did win, Jake not being able to win some like all these little things, and it made a huge difference to the team. And then because of that, like you said, like when has Jake never not won a match? Maybe that was their reasoning of trying to put him in 3 times was like he was going to figure something out. But that's an example of like instead of just losing 15 points in those 3 matches that they were okay, we're probably going to lose. They ended up losing a gamble with a flash, another flash pin on a pull up, another like so they ended up losing like 20 something points in those 3 matches. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was the opposite of losing as little as possible, where they ended up screwing up and losing a bunch of points because Montreal also capitalized. And Brendan was like, okay, call a gamble, do this, make a sub, do it, like, and that all that made a huge difference. That's to me when I watched it back, I
Oh,
was like, that's
you know what? You're giving me anxiety about something now because as you're talking, I'm realizing it could have been a lot worse if you think about it. Because what if those were gamble matches? What if and now the 100 point threshold could have been finished in the early three?
no, I don't think it could have been finished any earlier because
No.
they called both their gambles and they won both their gambles on big matches. Like Brendan won, he won like 13 or 12 or 14 points
Oh, I
his
know.
first
What if
one.
the other team would have gambled on it because they're like, hey, you know what? We got Jake Charles the next 3 matches. Maybe we should gamble on these. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, if they had a lost the gamble.
that's true.
That's it.
Oh
And
yeah,
now
yeah,
you're looking
yeah.
at a big
Yeah.
fucking
So then
like you
again,
don't want to go all the
bad
way out to
decisions.
Calgary and have a
Yeah, but
45-minute
how about
match.
when you go to a boxing match and it's a 12 round fucking title fight and in a
You
minute
win. You win.
you know
You win.
somebody's like does the stupid thing and gets caught with it. That's what happened. They were like totally didn't play the game very well in those decisions, and it resulted in a quick KO.
You win. You know what we should do then? If that ever happens, we should put in, hey guys, we'll do something like a king of the table for you, just for you guys at the end, or something. Because like, because what got me, why I was like, 125, and I don't want to harp on it, and this is the
Yeah.
last time I'll make it. Was just Alan Ford at the end. He flew there, and he's like, "Fuck, I got so much more in me. Like I need to arm wrestle." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Yeah, there's a
Yeah, well,
couple
then why
matches."
didn't he pull? Why didn't he pull Boucher? Why did Mike Smith? Why did they tell me that they need Mike Smith to reserve in?
That's a good fucking point,
I'm
actually.
sorry, Blake, same thing. Blake pulled one left-handed match and one right-handed match. Nathan Leland pulled one left-handed match. Like they didn't go all in the sense of like no, I'm pulling that one too. I'm like, let me try to. They basically threw Jake to the wolves. Like Jake pulled like 6 matches and lost all of them, and you know what I mean. And so like when you really break it down, it was kind of like, whoa, yeah, wait a second, like even Allen rested round two. Allen didn't pull round two at all because he was
Yeah, like why?
tired from round one.
Oh, he
So
was too tired from round one. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
which is understandable because round one was a fucking banger against
Porky.
against Porky, but like maybe like I'm not saying nobody expected Rick to blow his bicep against Matt. That was the most
Yeah,
unexpected, and that kind of I think that also sent the whole team of Toronto down such a spiral. They're
you
like,
know,
what
Yannick blew his pec too. He's out of November event.
is that? Did he blow his pec?
Oh,
It's got a
I heard
three
that he.
inch.
I heard that he didn't. I heard that he like
No,
he
it's a
like.
3 inch. It's 3 inch tear.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, it's a combat sport, and it was funny because well, not funny. It's never funny. Okay, but I when Boucher hurt Rick, I was devastated initially because Rick's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck. And then it was like, you know what? I'm so happy I'm retired. That's the first thing I thought about it. I was like, oh man. Anyways, maybe you know what?
Bro, think about what
I
Rick's
might
right is
come
going to be
back for
like
the
when that
draft.
heals.
If you guys draft again next year, I might train for that because I don't know if I want to miss out on um listen, I don't know if I'll make it because of how bad my left arm is, but if I can make my right arm as a guaranteed win, kind of like last time,
Yeah.
then maybe I'll get on the draft or I'll get drafted. But I can see how unless I can get my left, but my left arm on tough one was decent. I got a win on Rick
Yeah.
lefty. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it was. I need to at least get it to that level for me to be.
But yo, what do you think? What do you think Rick's right is going to be like when it heals? Like he's
Well,
already out of
if he's
surgery and
smart, exactly.
it's going to be insane. He's going to have a
Yeah,
hook.
if he gets
He's
it
going
to,
to have a hook.
yeah, exactly. Like
Like
he
that's what
could,
happened to my left. My left, I never had a hook at all. And then as soon as once it healed from the tear, I had this like high hook position that was totally different, and I could still top roll. It's like if
yeah.
if he ends up with that, it's going to be scary,
So,
dude.
so to get back to my original point, I looked at Matthew and I'm like, listen, you just fucking ruined a match on my card on 29th of November.
Yeah.
I told him,
You
guess
need to
what?
take one now.
You're taking it, you know. So in hindsight, like he's devastated that he hurt Rick. He was like, and the thing is I believe him because he had the same one. Did you see his
You know who tore his? Yannick.
get the fuck out of here.
My fucking triangle. Yannick tore Matthew's bicep at Matthew's first tournament ever, which was Tweed, like 2.5 or 3 years ago. And I think it was 3 years ago. And I gave him my sling that I had from when I had torn my bicep that Devin had torn.
Really?
Yeah, and it was almost the exact same thing. Yannick gets kind of like opened up a bit, and Matt is like kind of out in like a big open hook like this, and then Yannick just goes to the side like he does, and Matt tries to hang on like Rick did, and it just goes whack,
Fuck.
and it
You
just
know, I have not seen it yet.
what Rick's.
No, I fast forward. I see where he's holding. I fast forward to the point where he's just like sort of like holding it on the table and like fucking he's mad at himself. But I am the biggest pussy in the world when it comes to looking
What
at
it
arm wrestling
what it looked like, I
and
haven't talked to him about what actually happened like in the match, but what it looked like was one of the things that he does a lot as like a
a
habit
weapon.
or technique is he'll grab you low to try to mitigate your cup. And though that can work when you're going against somebody as stubby and stocky and strong as Matt, and you
Yeah,
give him a little bit of extra leverage and then try to hang on to him with these fingers,
yeah,
basically what happened was he got out here like this, and Matt was just and Christian said afterwards, he said Matt has got, when somebody connects their elbow and their lat and they get that down, like you have it really good. When you get that down twist, you get this like down pressure that's really
Yeah,
strong. He was saying that Matt had this like downward dragging pressure that was feeling. So I think Rick just got hit unexpected, and then got himself like another thing that I think happens. Like he doesn't have a ton of guys to train with, and who he does train with are usually like he's so far ahead of them that he hangs on all the time when he trains. Like he holds people and he holds people and he holds on. So he gets caught in this like moment of like where the kid's hitting him quick, and he hangs on for a second, and he's like
yeah.
hanging on as opposed to actually arm.
Yeah,
You know?
it was bad. Yes, you're
I think
right.
that's why he
And
was so.
because
That's probably why he was
you
so
can
like.
get away with a guy that's 50% that strong, but then all of a sudden you try doing that with a guy as strong who's stronger than I am, and you know, in good position, and he fucking
Yeah.
yeah, it's bad news, Browns, right there. But anyway, Matthew is now in the breach. He's gonna fight Mike Ford, and then Yannick.
So who's gonna take
I got
Amelia then?
Brandon Assessor is going to take
Oh, it's gonna
Yannick's.
take Amelia. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, he's going to take provided he doesn't get fucked up by that 6-man killer round robin he is in 3 weeks earlier. So if you're fucking 225 pounds out there and you want to be on the November card, give me a call. You may need to be in reserve. So because who knows? And I got Max Taubin coming out. We're gonna have a three-headed
That's cool.
uh, Coach Ray Max Taubin. Max Taubin did WAL announcements, and he's gonna be a
Yeah, yeah.
200 pound reserve for anybody that goes down. He's gonna keep in shape, keep strong. So if there's a 200 pounder that goes down or whatever, he can jump into the breach. So Auden, Coach Ray, Max Taubman is my commentary team.
That's
Oh,
solid.
That's East versus West. Both there's two guys there with East versus West experience in terms of commentating. Max also did all the WAL. Coach Ray, and then like guys, Auden
Modern
as a
killer.
commentator. Like I wasn't even thinking of hiring him until I literally heard him at your guys' event. That's why that's very good. Like me, I want to go out to Calgary too because what a benefit. I was there in real time. I could make the injury happen. Boom. I was able to talk to the puller to get him on the next card, right? I was able to recruit a commentator. It's literally happening. It's literally panning out exactly the way you said, Jason, for Mac and Mac's benefit. You know, when you guys do something,
Mm.
I'm able to recruit and like scout, not just, not just, I mean, everything, every aspect of the game, you know, and all the people that are involved.
One
If
thing
they're,
with the commentating for Auden, I think that you got to note how much of a factor having Matt uh, played into getting Auden to be able to really say what he was saying, because Auden had the right person to explain things to and talk things through. And Matt was really, if you want, like I don't know how, but if you like pay attention to the questions that Matt was asking, like he was really, and that I'm not like
is he
hold my
exclusive
horn on
for,
this, but
is
hold
he
on.
exclusive for you or can
No,
he
no,
be?
you can try. Yeah, try to get him. Ask him. Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
I see. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if this was just a buddy thing for you
Oh no,
or like,
yeah, try. I don't know, but he's not available for my Calgary event,
wow.
unfortunately.
I
So
mean,
but I've got some ideas of what I'm going to do to. But the
Speaking
point
of the
is, I
Calgary
don't have the
event,
same guy. What?
so just saying, speaking of the Calgary event, we should talk about that a little bit because we
wait.
guys in the
There's
chat.
there's a guy called Kyle Evanoff. Talk to him. I think he would be a good, like he's new arm wrestler. He comes from the bodybuilding side of things, and he has a very. When I talk to him, he has that kind of voice, and I think he's green enough to be that guy that Matt
Yeah,
Cos could be. Okay, so I'll talk to him on your behalf if you'd like.
yeah, yeah.
Tell him
Okay,
to
cool.
give you
Yeah,
a call.
I've got a list of guys that are like
Do
similar
you?
to Matt.
Okay.
No, no, but I'm not. I'm just saying I've got some guys that are similar to Matt that live in Calgary that like do radio and do sports and
Oh.
And my
Then you
idea was
probably should go that route. I didn't
idea
know.
was to go with them because I think it just and also they know people out there, they'll and everything. But I think that was a key dynamic for Auden, and also the fact that I wrote out a script for them that was like, okay, here's what your role is, here's what your role is, here's the kind of questions that you're supposed to ask, here's how you're supposed to respond, here's some of the key language that I want you guys to use, and they both studied it and knew it and executed it beautifully, like really really well.
Could you send me that? Could you send me that?
100%, yeah,
Because
sure.
I could get Max because Max is like, yeah, he's an arm
Yeah,
wrestler.
your team is great. If you just give them like, here, this is your role, this is your role, this is
Yeah.
your, they will crush it 100%.
Yeah.
Give me 1
Because
second.
I think Coach Ray, where is he going?
I don't know.
Is he not the host of this show? Like, hey Alex, how you doing? Ian Carnegie here.
Got
Let
more
me,
phone calls to take.
yeah. No, but like, I think Auden is really good at analysis, and I think so is Coach Ray. I think Max is the one that probably could do color,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he could. Although, he'd be good at both because obviously for WAL he was
Main guy.
the analysis guy, and then who was the other guy that was with him? He was playing the color.
Yeah,
They worked really well together.
I forget. He's a good dude though, and he's done other events other than the WAL as well.
Yeah.
I don't know his name though. I forget. I'm sure I could just pull up a video and see it, but
Yeah.
But that's
it's
sorry.
my favorite arm wrestling shirt, by the way.
What, the one I got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, turn around. Let me see if it's the. Yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah. The logo is gangster, right? It's super. It's like complete back. It's
Yeah.
I love it.
We should talk about the Calgary and
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Let's go ahead, Alex.
some guys in the chat talking, and mostly I think
I
through
got
the
use rush.
through the Fingers podcast is very. Maybe he's on the Calgary team, or he's from Calgary?
Yeah. Brian
Phil
Parliament.
Fingers is out there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because they've got Josh Bellin, Victor, the Houghtons.
Do you have the list, or you want me to pull it up?
You pull it up. I'm just reading names from the chat.
Yeah. The so
Mason Drosy. He's a lightweight guy.
Vancouver, so the situation with Vancouver, I can officially say Marlon Hicks is going to be the manager for Vancouver, which is awesome, and they do have a lot of really good pullers out there. That kid you were talking about, Alex, it's Alexander.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's obviously a wrecking machine, and he's like a 175 guy.
Yeah.
And then they've got Alex Toproll now. They've got so I don't have their
Is that Alex Toproll?
He's out there. I don't have their official list yet, but they've got a lot of really good pullers to pull from. But Calgary's official list is killer. So
let's hear it.
Yeah. So we'll consider this the official announcement of it. But it's so Jason. This is going light to heavy. So lightweights, we've got Jason Tibok, Kelly Leach, and Jordan Wibe. I don't know if I'm probably pronounced that last name wrong, Wibe or Weeby maybe. Anyway, those I know Kelly Leach is amazing, and I don't know Jordan or Jason, but I'm sure that they're way up there. And then
for BC.
What's that?
Calgary.
That was Calgary.
Do you know Jordan Wiebe or Wiebe or?
Yeah, Brian a couple weeks ago was trying to fill me in on how good Calgary is going to be. I think he mentioned his name, but I forget how he pronounced it.
Yeah. Well, if he Sean Crawford's the one that put the list together more or less of the guys, and Len.
Are we doing a draft or no?
No. These teams they just picked. I'm saying you guys pick who you want. Tell me who the best guys are that you can get for both sides, and then we're going from there. Because I'm not out there. I don't know.
This is the last year for that, though. I think going forward, second season, everybody does a draft.
Yeah. I think that it'll probably be it'll probably be second or third season where there's like now a new official draft and everybody's a free agent again, and it's like, and there's no limitation to, it doesn't matter if you're where you're from, and then it's just salary cap, and that's definitely how I see that.
Because I think we're robbing them of a good time.
Yeah,
the draft was fun.
No, yeah, and it will once it's established like that, and then there's all these pullers. It'll be a matter of like who can form the best team based on all those decisions, right? So, so middleweights: Mason Dorsey, Victor Belov, and Eugene uh,
Yeah, Bezinar. He's
Pesanar.
awesome. I
I don't,
got him on. I I got people telling me he's going to annihilate Corey Miller. Think about that. Think about that. Corey Miller is one
yeah,
of
I've
the
heard he's
best in the
really good
world.
too. And that's you're like I know how good Victor and Mason are, and he's the guy that Sean put in front of those two. And same thing, like, I know how good Kelly is, and Jordan is ahead of Kelly. So like Jordan's got to be pretty fucking good. And then heavyweights is Caleb Freeborn, Sean Crother, and Steve uh, Marcoux.
Tom Crowther isn't a super.
No, he said he's going to make weight. He's like
Oh, okay, because he's not weight right now. There's no
no,
way.
no, yeah. He said he's got to make weight. So that's his. I mean, again, those are their decisions. That I think that was a huge thing that killed Jake was Jake trying to make weight. Like Jake made
Yeah.
a 20-pound weight cut and whatever. And I think so people, if you want to make weight, you will make weight, but it could make a difference. But this Stephen Marco, he looks like a monster. And I don't know him, but Curtis Mocan.
Yeah.
And he made a comment like, "Oh, super excited to see you pull again," and some other guys were saying they were super excited and whatever. So,
Well, Mocan's eligible for Calgary, is he not?
yeah, he would have been. Yeah, he would be eligible for either because he doesn't live in Calgary. So if for some reason Vancouver wanted to snag him up if they needed to, then
Oh,
that
so you already know they already have their list and their reserves?
yeah, like
Oh shit.
Calgary has their full team already set.
Okay.
And I've already sent out to everybody. And Vancouver now is like a little bit behind the eight ball, but they already know who, we know who they're going to want to get, and we'll pull that together pretty quickly. So, but I know Marlon understands what's going on. He's
I
the
got a question for you that
yeah.
we haven't thought about.
Right, who are the heavy supers before you?
Supers is Dylan Houghton, Dustin Houghton, and Josh Bellin.
Okay.
Guys, okay. I'm
Okay.
about to throw a wrench in the shit, but I think you'll like this question. Okay. What is the radius from the central like Toronto had X radius, right?
Close to 150 kilometers. Yeah.
150 kilometers? Because I was gonna say northern fucking Washington and California. Are they within that?
Well, yeah, I mean, but I was considering that like Canada has to be Canada, US has to be US. So, but again, season two.
Because you did do cross pollination with province, like you had two Ontario guys pulling for Quebec.
Yeah, but they're both in Canada. You're talking about a US state.
Yeah, I'm just it was a question. I just
Yeah,
wanted to know
I'm
because they have the Devon Mackin, they have the Mackin brothers upstate, and they could really help. BC could really help um, use those like that would help them. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I think it makes
And
sense to keep the US Canada separate, especially when we're looking at the season. And at the end of the season, you want that US versus Canada matchup to fight for the.
well, I get it, but I'm looking at the Seattle or the Mariners versus the Jays, and we got a lot of Americans on the Canadian team too.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
I do think it will definitely get there. I think in the beginning
Yeah.
okay, all right.
yeah,
I
it does.
I
I don't know, but
recline
you're
I
not.
retract.
I don't know the pullers in Washington, but yeah, that would definitely be interesting. But I know that I don't really know the guys in BC, but I know that anybody that knows BC is like confident that BC is going to have a crazy good team as well. So
Well, they
um,
have Anthony Delantonio is probably going to win whatever class he's in.
yeah, and then
They have another guy. Fuck, he's been pulling forever. Uh, muscular. Fuck, I don't know his name, but they have another guy, and then they got Marlon Hicks.
yeah,
He's likely going to
well, he's
win
going to be
whatever.
the manager. He's going to be the manager.
What?
Yeah, Marlon Hicks is the manager.
Why is he not pulling?
Well, he wants to be the manager, and he also is the. He said he's not full. He's not. He said he could be ready by then, but
Oh, is so he's not active.
he's not active right now. But he
Oh,
also
okay,
he
all
also
right.
wants. He was like, I really want to see some of the younger guys like da 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 da. So, like that Alexander guy, and I mean he's got to fill three spots, right? So,
Okay, that's fine. I just thought
But
like,
yeah, I don't know. I've heard that he's still. I've heard even if he's not training, he's still obviously ridiculous,
well,
right?
he's like a guy that can win 90% of his matches just on go alone. Like,
He's so
he-
fast and yeah,
dude, he's lightning.
yeah.
Lightning, and his father is a Hall of Famer and one of the best to ever do it. Um, you know, like that's quite the genetic lineage, you know what I mean, for fucking
Well,
arm
I don't know.
wrestling.
I mean, I that like I've been a little. I've been trying to
It's
talk to the
before
BC
your
guys.
time, right?
No, no, but I've been saying I've been trying to talk to the BC guys, but I've had a little. I haven't been able to. Uh, like I've been a little bit slow on the communication with them. So maybe he is going to end up pulling, and maybe somebody like Keith Koenig is going to end up being the manager. I don't know, but because I originally I reached out to Keith Koenig, Marlon Hicks, and Del Antonio, and those were the three guys that I reached out to say, hey, this is what's happening. Let me know who's interested. And Marlon was the one that said I'm interested, and then uh,
Okay.
obviously been dealing with the Toronto Montreal, and then haven't really checked back in. And now since I checked back in, it took a few days to get in touch with
Because
Marlon.
I'm going to tell you right now, it does. It seems like it's a ways away. It's not that far. When you think
Oh, I
about
know
all
it's
the
yeah,
planning,
no,
all
it's
the
4 months away.
it's
Yeah,
right. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
That's what I realized after Mac 3 and then Mac 4. I was like, oh, we got time. Fuck, man, that creeped up on me so goddamn quickly. And then thought I had a lot of time. You know, to October 11th. I wanted to be more prepared for that. I should have brought my laptop. Anyway, we got it. There's a lot of things I could have done better. But I had one of the best experiences of my life as a non-competitor at your guys' event. That's 100% sure.
you know what too is what you said about the competitor, and almost everybody who that I've talked to, or everybody that I've talked to that competed, says basically that same thing. Is like the energy that they had competing for the team. Like Brendan, I don't know if you read his post, but he made the comment that he was like when he pulled his first match and lost on fouls, he was kind of like in his head and kind of like I don't know if like wasn't really feeling it, and
Yeah.
around and then saw the eyes on all the guys on his team and was like, oh no, fuck that. Like I got to pull this together. And then ended up having an amazing game from there, But like that team camaraderie, the team spirit of not just pulling for yourself,
Nobody wants to
it,
let the team down.
yeah,
That's the thing.
changes it.
I know personally, I've pulled out with near injury or an injury, and I'm like, fuck it, done. Not worth the next 6 months of headache. When they were like, Ian, we need you, like this close game, we need your points. I'm like, well, fucking work on me, boys. Let's fucking give me some water. Let's go. You know what I mean? Patch me up, send me in, coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it was a totally different fucking
yeah,
and that's when I knew it was gonna work. Because like I was telling Alex, I was like, buddy, you know why that event means so much is because the drama in my personal life at that very moment was crazy. So my team needed me. I was injured, and I got a phone call saying my dad is being rushed to emergency, and the doctors say to get a hold of the kids. The kids need to come because he's probably not going to make it.
yeah,
That's not gaslighting. That actually happened.
yeah,
And I was talking to Rob, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of an event. Like, should I just leave and go? She's like, Ian, if he's gonna pass, there's no whether you finish the game or not isn't gonna matter. You know what I mean? Just focus on the game. Call us afterwards. And I drove to Kingston, packed a day bag, fucked off to Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. That was my day.
yeah.
And thankfully,
So, say
Yeah.
again, sorry.
No,
thankfully, you
he's all good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's good now. He's good now. And I think you said, didn't you say you seen it on the camera the exact moment that I got the call? Was it you, Jason?
I think I don't remember, but I know you. I know it is on camera. I know
Oh,
that, or if it's not you on the phone, it's like right after or something. Like I think
where I'm just
I
sort of
do
staring
remember
into
talking about
nothingness.
that. I do remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But the point, what I'm saying is I knew, and I remember as I was leaving, I told you, I said something to the effect that you really have
Yeah,
something special here. Like this was the best, funnest event, all that stuff. But like, it's really interesting. Like when you're an individual sport athlete, you're so consumed about yourself, right? And it's not always about the win. It is just yourself, right? Like, so it's like, yeah, I want to win. I want to win. I also want to preserve my arm for the next day. But when it's the team, your sense of self kind of makes like you push it aside so that you can help the team. And that absolutely is captured by Tough. 100%. I'll argue this point to death. And I
I
was
think it
on
is. It's that like Devin says, the like mission before self.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, it gives you a bigger like mission before
Deeper
self.
mission, right? When you're fighting for something greater than yourself, which is what Devin was doing too when he was in the military. It wasn't just for
well,
himself.
I would say for the most
Mission.
part, the only people that you would sacrifice your life for are immediate family generally, right? Mother, father, children,
Yeah.
spouse, right? Those are, you jump in front of a bullet for that. For me, if I can avoid it, I fucking run. The bullets are flying, I'm just gonna go protect myself, but there's no sacrificing, right? That's what I'm getting at. If it was an individual sport after my second match,
Yeah.
right-handed, I would have pulled out of the tournament. I have done that at the Toronto Pro Super Show. I beat Mike Gould, then I beat Rick. And the weekend before, I was in Germany and I had a really tough match. And I think I might have had the beginnings of a hairline fracture in my bone because I beat Rick, but Rick had got me extended, like boom. And I felt this pain. And but right then I was able to cup and bring him over. But that pain was enough for me to say, I have Tim Bresnan next. Found out he pulled out, then I pulled the fuck out. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. So had it been on the team aspect, maybe that fucking arm would have busted. Who knows? But I would have did it. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Team team game. Love the idea. It brings a different level of intensity inside and different, like you bringing something else out of your heart. And I'm glad that you guys brought it to our sport because I don't think all those other so-called team leagues they didn't capture it. You know what I mean? They didn't capture it. They sold something that, and then they were like, this isn't
How many?
working.
How many? I don't remember any like just the jerseys, just the look. Like I haven't. I don't remember ever seeing any other.
No.
Like
Nobody's done it that the way.
like that's like
Maybe the Pro Panja League is like that in that they do have regional teams,
yeah.
right? But it is regional teams and then their best face off in
Mhm.
super match format. Okay. So you could argue that they have a team format, but this is like it's
There's no
just
strategy though. That's the
no
thing.
that's just like club versus club, and we put super matches. You know what I mean? Like Ottawa versus Picton,
That's been
uh,
happening
uh,
forever. Yeah.
and that's it, right?
It's never going to
Um,
take off unless the non-arm wrestler can become interested in something other than the actual arm wrestling.
Yeah.
and arm wrestling provides none of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It provides none of that. Like statistics wise, I mean, it's firing me up to like go over all the matches and do a win loss record or something, some sort of statistic that we can put there
Of the game, have
for
you
the
seen the
nerds.
stat sheet? Did you see the stat sheet?
I did. But Mac has nothing like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, go back, look at all the results, and then on our website, kind of have so John Terrian, he's wins X, he's got this many wins and how many, so his percentage winning is, just extra stats wherever we can fill them in
Yeah.
because you guys have captured something like that. And we really, I think we want to capitalize on that too. Because then if it's just the main, everybody knows that it's not just the wins or losses that matter, everything matters.
Yeah.
Right.
That
And,
was that was what was so cool about putting the stats together is once I put the stat sheet together, I was like, holy, you can see the story of the game just in the stat sheet. Like it was just yeah, it was just really
And
cool.
you can just see a group of dudes that like I don't want to like for lack of a better nerd like nerds like geeking
Yeah,
out on arm wrestling and this the one guy is like, well, Toronto, if you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like I could totally see them just going blah
Yeah,
blah blah. If they use this lineup against that lineup, well, 67% of the time this polar, you know what I mean? And you
Exactly.
know what's gonna happen
Yeah,
because
that's
guys are
exactly
like that. Guys are like that in all sports.
100%. That was I was literally talking to Lisa about it, and Lisa was like, "Okay, you did do it because you just turned arm wrestling into math." because I was talking about the stats, and I was like, well, then this 2 point, this, that, but she was like, okay, you did figure it out because now you just turned arm wrestling into math. And if it's, and then same thing, I was
So the
talking to
math
my mom,
geeks are
and
going to be like,
yeah,
you think you know arm wrestling?
yeah,
Okay, well, you don't know arm wrestling like I know arm
yeah,
wrestling.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And they would kill me at it too. I'd be like, you know what? I never really thought of that.
yeah,
And it would be interesting if analytics for arm wrestling pan out like they are used for baseball, basketball, hockey, etc. You know what I mean? It'd be interesting to see if the analytics do pan out that way.
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Like if you
I
could
gotta
go
go.
ahead.
I gotta go.
Oh,
It's fun.
No worries. I think Ian's gonna have to go watch the baseball game in a
I'm
second.
watching it now, anyways.
Uh,
If I go,
all right,
uh,
Alex. No worries. Thank you
I'll
very
talk to you
much.
guys later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk to you soon. But yeah,
no, buddy. I know. Here's the problem. I keep telling people how great it is. I know that they think I'm gaslighting. I know that they think that I'm biased because it's Mac related. I'm not, guys. We did the first one. It wasn't on a Mac table. We had the only thing Mac like that the first event that I attended was the close your thumbs, close your hands, go. We weren't doing the shoulder shit. We weren't doing anything, right? And the pad was 10 by 8. Only two similarities,
yep,
right?
yep. And center 10 by 8 and center. Yeah.
Oh
On,
yeah, the
on
pads were 10 by 8 and centered. Yeah. Yeah. That's the only and and to me it was the best game and the best format. And I said it from that point. I have not deviated from that since it happened.
yeah, yeah,
And when Tough Two didn't pan out the way we liked it, we understood why, and I took some responsibility for that. I said, you know what, me putting too many matches on the Mac 3 hindered Tough Two a little bit, but boy, in Tough Three, are we calling it Tough Three or are we just calling it something else like the beginning?
I call it. I call the first two the pilot events, and now I'm calling that
This is Tough One,
preseason game one. Yeah,
preseason game one. Okay, so if it's a preseason game, do these stats not carry over?
they don't count towards the regular season, like the win loss won't, and but
Oh.
when the regular season starts, it'll be
When does the regular season start?
it's going to start November of 2026. So like a year.
So the US doesn't get any preseason games?
Yeah, they're going to get two.
When are they happening?
May 30th and August 15th.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
your regular season really isn't starting till 2027, really.
well, November 2026, so it'll do like where basketball, like how it crosses over the year end.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
the 2027 season means it'll end 2027, the 20. So yes, how does basketball do it? Like they call
It's always like 20, like, so you can win the World Series 2023, 2024. The next year will be 2024, 2025.
yeah, but what season do they call the like that's the so if you win it 23 to 24, you won the 24 season or the 23 season,
23. Oh, fuck.
right? They do it one way. So anyway, I'm gonna follow that. Whichever way they do it, I'm gonna follow that.
That's a good fucking question. I
They
think
do
it's
it one way.
you get the year it ends in.
That's
So
what I believe. That's how I believe it is too. So that's how this would be. So yeah, the official first season would be 2027 then, because 2026 is part of the preseason. And
yeah,
but
that's what I think. And you know
the
what? I
season
think
starts at the end of 2026, goes into 2027. The finals would be in the end in the.
I love it. I love it. You want to know why I love it? Because it gives you an opportunity to review the entire preseason and make the necessary adjustments if needed.
And by doing it that way, each game, I establish the two teams, I establish the venues, the travel, everything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when the season starts, I'm not doing that for I've only got four other spots to figure out, which I will have figured out during this year as I'm. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because if I started the season just like at first I was like I'm going to do one preseason game and then I'm going to start the season, and then I was like if I do that by the first week of the season I'm going to have so many things that are happening for the first time ever, I'm going to shoot myself, you know what I mean? So at least now like that's even just doing the next game compared to the last game. So many things are already done, that like I'm just plug and play. Like
Yeah.
so, it's still a lot of work, but it's not like the first game was like getting all this stuff like started.
Do the guys out west like their jerseys?
Yeah, I sent them to you, right? Yeah, I think once Kent finishes the logos, they're gonna look fucking so good. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, Kent is Kent's doing them?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the guy that made Mac ones?
Yeah, he's the
Did
one that
Kent
did
do
these. Yeah,
did Kent do tough?
Kent did tough, and
Oh,
Kent did Montreal and Toronto.
okay.
But they're like I did them on AI first, all of them. I did the tough one on AI first and everything, and then sent him like, here's the ideas, here's what I'm thinking, and then he made it look good. And then same
So
thing.
so guys that are watching, as you can see, Kent has nailed fucking logos. So
Yeah,
if you got, reach out to Jason or I, and we can hook you
yeah.
up.
The only one in the screen that he didn't do is the Table Monkeys one, but
And that
everything
one's fucking awesome too. But yeah,
everything else.
so all those logos, every one of them,
Yeah,
is yeah, Saints,
two,
Smoke,
three.
Tough, Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he clearly knows how to do it. Um,
Yeah, he does great work, and that's my plan. So he's doing the next two. Like he's gonna basically do every set of logos. It's just I've already done them. Like I have the basic idea of how they're gonna look, and then he's just refining them to make them look better, and then also, splitting them up so I can use like just the lettering, just the smoke, just the whatever, right?
and
Uh,
he's really reasonable in my opinion.
oh yeah, he's been awesome. Yeah, and especially like that. Like that's anything in business, man. The more you can develop a relationship where I'm like, okay, yes, you did this one for me, but I'm gonna get you to do the next 8 logos that I have for all this. It's like that's how you develop relationship with
You know
people.
what we should do is talk to uh talk to the various clubs and stuff, like, and say, you know, get him to like do a mock-up for that and see if they'll buy it. You know what I mean? Like the Picton logos or something like that, or Ottawa, and then it'll kind of look like that. Every club will have like a high-end fucking logo,
Yeah,
And then I know we talked about this before, and it's not to derail what you got going on, because that's not what I want. I want to expand on it. I think you should allow or send out that format if you can. I don't know if it's a computer program that I can just put up on my computer or whatever. And then we could do things like more often Ottawa versus Toronto. Like, I mean, like
keep up
Ottawa high
games and stuff.
hookers,
Yeah.
high hookers
I
versus,
know. Yeah, yeah. I do want to. It's not formatted a way I can do that, but I do. That is a something I want to figure out because yeah, I want to be able to do that. Where it's
because
like
there was something
you
we
can just
were
like
thinking,
it's
because
not
Matt,
as graphic a scoreboard. It's a simpler one, and it's just names. So then you can like fill in your names, and then you have the gambles and all the point stuff, and you can.
I would like to lead it, and here's why. We at Mac, it's a Matthias initiative. We want to start a thing called sorry, you got to go?
No.
Okay. There's this thing that we wanted to start called Club Wars,
Yeah.
right? So and it's just for content for us, but it's also to another grassroots way to get exposure for arm wrestlers that don't generally get it.
Right.
And if we could do that, and then and then promote tough at the same time, you know what I mean, in a basic way, because it's obviously everything will be basic, right? It's basic super matches, basic setup, and it's content for the socials, but it's also pumping out the Mac Tough initiatives.
Well, if you did that in the Club Wars, you could do where instead of super matches, you're getting guys to put together, like just get eight guys, just get 2 people in each class, and then play a game
Yeah,
and see how it goes instead of worrying about 8 super matches. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's what I would like. I'll talk to Matthias about it, because I don't want to hijack his idea, but I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. That would. I mean, I still have to make the scoreboard so that I can do that, but it's very doable.
So, are you happy? Because they are nice hats. No problem if you keep it that way, but do you intend to do raised?
For this,
Yeah. Or
yeah, I
you
would
think,
like it to be. I didn't know how to order them. I want to get it again raised, but what I did just order instead because now it's new season was I just ordered beanies.
okay, if you want, if you have the, I'll ask what file you need, but the people that do the Mac hats, I can get one mocked up if you want and see what it looks like.
Yeah, we can do one. I'm not honestly, I'm not in a bad way. I'm just not in a rush for it now,
Okay.
but I do want to see it 100%. I've got
Yeah, yeah.
other.
I mean, it's something that it takes 2 minutes, man. You just send me the fucking file and I'll do it from.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
know.
But
But
anyways, um, if you got nothing else, I'm gonna
I'm
watch.
good. I'm just chilling now. Yeah.
Yeah. Great job, man. I can't wait for Calgary. I'm gonna do my very best to get a flight out there, and I want to be part of it. And I think that one is that game it probably will top this one, even though this one was great. But they have the benefit of having watched it.
Yeah, everybody's going to benefit from that point on. Like, there's so much more that it's like you said, like as much as you can explain the idea until you actually see it like unfold, it doesn't. And even for Mike and Toronto, like watching the game back, they're probably like, why did we do that? Like, like there's so many things they could have done different now that again, not they didn't make a mistake in the moment in the sense that they just didn't realize the game almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
which is cool, which is why it's going to continue to evolve and you're and in live time, like people will be watching the stats and be like, oh shit, this is happening, we should try to turn this around, and like it's gonna
Oh,
be
you know what? I have to look at the feed. Is there like a stats? Like, is there something that's showing the stats on the feed? I can't remember, or is it just the score that shows up?
the score. There's no stats. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
What kept coming up on the feed is the point. Like I had a little card that explained how the points work.
Yeah,
Maybe you see.
yeah, yeah. My brain is fucking with me right now. But anyway, great job.
Thank you. And yeah,
Super excited for the next one.
yeah,
Like really big time. I'm really excited. You really fully added. It's a blessing for you to like the sport is blessed for you to bring this to us. I really believe it.
cheers.
I
Yeah.
hope people don't think I'm gaslighting. I'm not. I guys, like I told the whole story. I said it when it before it had anything to do with Mac. He had already had this concept. I competed in it. Told him at the time that I thought he had found a new direction for professional arm wrestling. I'm not saying it's the only direction, guys. I'm saying it's a new direction, and it's fresh. Get involved, have fun, cheer on your favorite team, and love tough and love arm wrestling.
I love it. All right, buddy. Have a good night. Watch.
Take care.
Go
It's
Jays.
fucking 0-0, fucking top of the second.
All right. Well, that sounds like
All right.
beginning of a good game. All right, man. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye bye.